When it comes to sales and being in sales, what's something that you can learn from Marvel Studios and Sony and their fight over Spider-Man and Sony walking away from the deal on video number 4. I'm Scott Bell. I'm coming to you live from Sacramento, California on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. So here's the thing. I've shot 3 videos prior. This is my 4th one talking about this deal going back and forth and saying, look, there's things that you can learn from big deals. You can watch big deals and you can predict what's happening. You can predict what's going on. And that really does help you be a better negotiator. That really does help you be a better salesperson to figure out like, hey, what would I do in this situation? So it's been reported that Sony said, we're done. We're not going to negotiate with Marvel Studios anymore. We're tired of dealing with Kevin Feige, and that's it. Okay. And so for you as a salesperson, for you as a negotiator, you got to have your bottom line. You should have a list of all the things that you want. You should have a list of all the things that you don't want. And then you should also have a point where you decide, I'm going to walk away. So I'm thinking of a country song, Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. And the same thing's true for any negotiation. And I see salespeople go into full-on needy mode. They need to make the sale. They need to close the deal. So they'll do a deal that is not beneficial to them as a salesperson. They'll say things like, well, I just got this deal and it counts towards my stack of deals that I had to have. But what they don't realize is that consistent action over and over and over again makes them a needy salesperson. And in the perception of the buyer, makes them a weak salesperson they get taken advantage of. And there is a downward spiral that salespeople go through when they consistently don't close deals, when they give up too easy, or they throw in too much on a negotiation. It becomes a habit. It becomes things that are a bad habit, and it's the opposite of sales basic mastery. It's like pure sales sabotage when that type of deal happens. And so for you, anytime that you're dealing with a negotiation, you got to have a list. What do you want? What do you not want? And where is your walk away point? And so last summer I was involved in a big deal, and I sat down with a business owner and we made a list. What do we want? What do we not want? Where are we going to walk away? What strange things are going to happen in this process? And some of the strange stuff happened, but not on the list that we had. But we also had a fallback and a walk away point because we knew what we were getting into. And, you know, if you're a salesperson and you're consistently doing $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 deals, you know, you could probably do that by gut, but that's a pretty weak thing for you to do. If you're doing big deals, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars, there's a lot more work and effort that you have to put into your negotiation style, especially if there's multiple people involved, right? If you got a team involved, oh my goodness, you have to communicate very strongly about what you want, what you don't want, who's going to be your mouthpiece, who's going to be your spokesperson. These are all things that you got to start thinking about. But for you, you're like, well, I'm not a big multinational company and I don't have a lot of people on my team. You can still take this advice and work it down and chunk it down and put it into your sales process to make you a better salesperson so that you can close better deals. Now, if you are in sales, there's really 2 people that I believe you should follow. Jim Camp passed away a couple years ago. Brilliant dude. His son Todd does a lot of training now. Check him out. And then Chris Voss and Taz Rawl. They wrote Never Split the Difference. So if there was 2 tools that I needed for negotiation, those would be the 2 places that I would look. You spend like 40 or 50 bucks on 2 books, 3 books. Start with Know from Jim Camp and Know the only negotiation tool you'll ever need, and then Never Split the Difference. You're like into 60 bucks at the most, okay? Pick up those books. They'll make you a better negotiator. But the other thing is, watch big deals. I've said this in all 3 videos, and there's a reason for it. You should always be watching big deals and saying, what would I do? What went right? What went wrong? Where'd they go sideways? Where would I have hit the eject button? Where would have I pulled the ejector seat to get out of the deal and say this isn't working? Because that's what Sony did. Now, I have a prediction for you. Got a prediction. Here's what's going to happen. Sony's going to produce a Sony movie with Spider-Man and Venom. And if that movie doesn't do as well as they're predicting, I could foresee them going back to Marvel and saying, hey, why don't we try this one more time? And so there's the bonus lesson for you sticking around is, how is there a trap door for you to get back in? If that's something that you want to do, if that's at all possible, if that's a way that you could work the deal. And if not, if it's a done deal and you walk away and you wash your hands of it and say, I'm done. If the people want to come talk to me, the door's open, but I'm not ever going to chase them. You got to understand neediness and how it helps you when somebody's needy with you and how it hurts you when you're a salesperson. Okay, there you go. You got one thing to do, just one thing. Find the subscribe button, click on it every time I send out a video. You will get an update. This is Scott Bell Consultant. Sent out another fantastic video, probably from a pretty cool location. So today, just so you know, I am on an island, and right there is a pear farm, right? If you look around, there's the river, and I'll slowly pan for you because there's nothing worse than somebody speeding around, and then there you go. That's the river. We'll see you soon. Thanks for dropping by. Aloha.